G'day everyone. I just wanted to make a tips and tricks video, a refreshed one for SS3. I've done them in the past, but here we go. In no particular order. Uh, Things that I find really help in the day-to-day gameplay. Number one is key bindings. So if you go to control settings, you've got all the things that you can change however you like. Ones that I have changed, which help me immensely, is I've changed Town Portal to be Y. It is T by default. However, I often run Dark Surge in my maps, and towards the end of the map, I just want to spam Dark Surge. I can't even remember what it is by default. It's like G or something. So I'll just change that to T, which is right next to where I use all of my abilities. So I recommend changing Dark Surge. Going down the list, we have a new one this season, which is your Pact Spirit Plan. Now, I was quite surprised when I saw this. No key bindings in Torchlight Infinite are the number keys. So you can easily assign Pact Spirit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or depending on how many you have. I believe you get extras if you have the season pass. And you can easily and quickly switch between the Pact Spirit configurations that you have set up. This is especially good if you are mapping. You do the map in pure Flame Elementium, quickly switch to Nightmare, do the Nightmare encounter, then switch back to pure FE. If you have a damage spirit setup, you can easily just press 3 or whatever it is, go do the boss, go back to 1 to do your mapping. While we're on the topic of Pact Spirits, next, to bring it up, now up the top left of the screen, the main screen display is off by default. You can switch that on, and then on the right hand side over here, you can switch between your Pact Spirit setups. On mobile phone, it is in the bottom right hand corner. The icon is the same. With Pact Spirits again, when you're selecting a new Pact Spirit, the default view is as is showing now. Now you can go through and it just shows the major talent here, which isn't very useful. Say you want to get all of the spirits for Flame Elementium, you can't really tell much from this view. This up arrow right here, you click up and it shows you the inner and mid ring effects. The outer ring effect is great, but if you're building a, let's say, a fluorescent memory setup, you just find him. Then you want a, I don't have a legendary for fluorescent memories. However, I would select that as one of the top two, because if you're going for drop quant, you want to use something else in the bottom so you can utilize that the best. And then this guy here is also fluorescent memory, so they're the two fluorescent memories that I have. It's just a much easier way to search for the relevant Pact Spirits that you want to use. Alright, let's move on to the Trade House. Trade House opens at level 60 Alright, some trade ones. I haven't used it this season. However, you can set up buy and sell orders. A sell order is simply where you select the item. You can do the price check to see what they're worth. This is 1 Flame Elementium per stack of 99 or 2. So you can set them up that way. That's a simple sell order. Now, the way that you would do a buy order is for the same example. Elixir of Oblivion. Now you have your Flame Elementium here. You saw that you can buy them for 99 per 1. However, you may want to do it the other way around and get more bang for your buck. Now, someone may not want to sell, use a slot to sell their Elixir of Oblivion, 99 at a pop. So what they may do is they may go to the Flame Elementium part of the page and fulfill a Flame Elementium buy for 300 Oblivion points. You still pay 1 out of 8 in tax, however, you're going to get a far better ratio that way. This is especially useful at the start of the season if you want to get flame sand. You can generally get between 100 and 150 per one, whereas if you're selling flame sand early on in the season, you'll be selling them for about 0.2 each, which is crazy. It's a good way to get the initial stock of flame sand for crafting. Personally, I just sell flame sand for the first couple of days as it is ridiculously expensive. At the moment, it's not really worth anything at all. So that's buy and sell orders. Next up, we will go over the unit price filter. So using flame sand as a example again, looking at flame sand, you can either check the price check here. However, that's not very useful when it's a stack of 9.99. So this is just showing that they're basically 99 to 1. That's not really giving you a very good indication. So these ones here, you can see that 9 for 999 is the going rate, which according to a unit price filter, you can either search by the entire price. However, so if we put 9 in here, as we're going along, you can see the stacks of 9.99 for 9, which is fine. However, going along, you may see a stack of 99 for 9, or you know, other things that are not as efficient as that. As you saw, a couple of that one there is a good example. There's 878 for 9 because you're just doing the stack. You don't really, you should never really search for the stack price. You should search by the unit price. So the maximum at 99 to 9 is 0.009 009,009. So you just go 0091. Now this has hidden this one because it's not a full stack, and it's only going to show the full stack size. Here we see it's 7. So if you do 7 divided by 9.99, that's showing that the new unit price filter is 7.1. Now it's only going to show the stacks of 7. That's probably the best rate. Oh, there's a 6. But the 6, you may have to search through many pages to get that sort of deal. So that is how you search by unit price. I use unit price for pretty much everything that I search for. It's especially useful if you are looking at beads, because desire beads are crazy cheap. Looking at this, 30 to 1 is a rate. I think they're about 280 to 1 last time I looked. Look at this scammer here. He's selling 300 for 100,000 flame elementium. Obviously that's back to front, but I mean, if you've got 100,000 flame elementium, I don't see you falling for that anyway. But we will check out the unit price anyway. So 99,990 to 300, which is a unit price filter of 0.0031. So that is showing a better range there. What's that? 25 divided by 10,000 is 0.0025. So now it's only showing 250 to 100k. There's probably not many of those because that is ridiculously cheap. At that price, you would just buy that and sell the desire beads to the vendor and make currency that way. this is a good example. If you have a bunch of Netherrealm resonance, you can only sell them in batches of 99, or you can trade them into the beacon shop. So the beacon shop is just over here at the trader Edwin. Edwin will sell you, or he'll offer a upgrade facility here. If you're upgrading into flame sand, you may want to keep some flame dust for reshaping your slates. You can buy 12 of every rank 1 beacon, 16 of every rank 2, 20 of every rank 3, and as many rank 4 beacons as you want. So if you need rank 4 beacons, maybe do a check to see how much Netherrealm resonance cost versus how much people are charging for the beacons. As you saw then, I sold 99 for 6. So 99 times 8 is 792 Netherrealm resonance. It's also 8 slots in your trade house if you want to sell it that way. If you have thousands of Netherrealm resonance, you may want to just buy the most expensive rank 4 beacon and sell those instead for a quick profit. So that's unit price filter. Next we'll go over condition groups. So condition groups are part of the advanced setup. Now I'll use a staff as an example. So generally if you are crafting a staff, you'll want something that is minimum item level 82. That means that all crafts can be tier 1. You'll also want gear plasticity of 200. Now these are the mandatory states. You do not want to include targeted crafting. You do not want it to be dream talking. Readability shouldn't matter, but we'll just make this 3 anyway. And then you'll be looking for 2 tier 1 affixes. Now on a staff, generally the hardest skill to get on there, or the hardest affix, is spell skill level. So now we want to just search for spell skill, and it's going to give us a ton of pages of results. Now most staves are Sage's staff, so let's just slap that on there, and that's reduced it down to probably 20 or so pages. Now you may have other conditions that you want, but they are less important than the spell skill level, and then you just need one other. That's where you go to add condition group, and then you want, at least for an iris, you want at least one other tier 1, which, so you put the search results contains any one of the condition group, and then you put on 2 other affixes that you want. You could add as many as you want. You can go through and add critical strike damage if you want, crit strike rating. Let's just go with crit strike damage actually. Critical strike damage, and you want tier 1. Clear the max and hits confirm. That will add the condition group down here. So all the stuff on top is mandatory. The staff must have that. And then we just want one of these 3 affixes on there as well. Hit search, and there you'll always have the 3 to 4 spell skill level that you want, and then one of the additional affixes. So that's how you use condition groups. It's also extremely useful if you are looking at div slates. So on legendary div slates, you may want spell burst. Oops. Condition group. Oh, it's actually still loaded. So you want a minimum of 2. So we're going for a corner of divinity here, and we want at least for the Carino build, there was 6 affixes that you really needed on a Corner of Divinity. So you could add all 6 to this. I know that another one was own, 1 additional. So now it's only going to show results with at least 2 of these results. Some are very cheap. Why did that not work properly? I don't think that was one of the results, was it? Sometimes it doesn't update. Why is this not working? Minimum 2. This should be working, but it's not working. I'm unsure why that's not working, because it was working about an hour ago. So maybe it's bugged, I don't know, but it should be working as intended. But it's not. I'll move on and I won't dwell on it. Maybe ignore that one. I don't know. The next one is, instead of removing an item and then putting it back up to refresh the duration, down the bottom here you can just hit refresh duration, and that will refresh the uptime of all of your trades on the trade house. Next up is really useful at the start of the league, or even now if you are going for the super expensive stuff. So a few legendaries in the game have got additional ways of getting them. You can either get blueprints through Gear Blueprint for items, and that would just be collect 5 of those and you combine that into the item. Varial Snicker is similar. 1 out of 5 gets you a Varial Snicker. And then if you look at the price of Avarials, it is a hammer. Is it a one-handed hammer? Let me find it. And unID'd Varials is only 8. They were 150 a couple of days ago. So it's interesting that they're only worth 8. So a bad example. However, a better example is a legendary div slate, which would be when sparks set the prairie ablaze. These go for 11,300 at the moment. So 11,000, yeah, 11,200, I guess. That's to buy it outright, or you can go to memory cards. And then here you would get Immolating Flame or Cocoon Flame, but you need Cocoon to transform into Immolating, to transform into When Sparks Fly, when Sparks set the prairie ablaze, rather. So that is 20. So if you were looking at the price, it was 11,200 divided by 20. That means if you were to buy it outright, these would have to be 560 or less. So you're far better off buying 20 of these than buying a single When Sparks Fly, because if you bought these, it's 458. Even this one, let's go with unit price filter, max of 458. See if there's any others like it. There's a couple, there's maybe 4. Let's change that to 490. Even at 490, you're going to save a fair chunk of cash. 480. Again, with these, you could set search the price check. So it's 460, 460, 465. So 470, you could pretty much get a full set, no doubt. So 470. Go through and buy up your 20 of those. So 20 at 470 is 9,400, which means you would be saving yourself 1,800 flame elementium just from buying the memory cards instead of the end result. Those people selling the end result will be paying 1,400 in tax, so they're getting the same amount of money either way. But you know, why pay them the tax when you can just buy the memory cards yourself, saving a ton of currency. All right, the next one is don't waste your primos. Now, this is a trap that has got me once before. If you are unspecking your skills, it says that it requires 1 Oblivion point. If you do not have Oblivion points, the game will try and charge you. Well, it'll pop up just like this, saying, would you like to use Jagged Primos instead? Now, I always think in my head that I have the Oblivion points in my stash. So I would think that I've got 99 that I can use, but you need to use them to get the points. Once you've got the points, you can't trade them. However, it is much, much better off doing that than you know, spending Jagged Primos on the same thing. So just look out for those little traps to waste your Primos, and hopefully you can avoid that, unlike I did a few times. Alright, the next ones are not really that important right now. However, at the start of the league, I would recommend not going for Godly Crafts, as they are super expensive, and you can often sell the Flame Sand for a lot of FE, and then you can buy the core legendaries that you really need to make the build work. You may want to stop at tier 6 level gear, so it's much cheaper to craft some tier 2 stuff, and just sell your flame sand and buy the legendaries that enable your build to work. Another tip, recommend Torchlight Infinite to all your friends. The more players, the more popular the game gets, the more features that get added, and the more items are available on the trade house to enable bossing, etc. What else? If you're going for experience, the game doesn't care. It doesn't care. Let's rephrase that. If you're running maps on, say, 8.2 or 7.2, etc., try and avoid the trap of juicing your maps, because juicing your maps just makes it harder and you're more likely to die. You will get more loot, but if you're going for experience, just go for experience. Don't juice your map, so you can just blitz through as quickly as possible and just get what you want from these, which is the experience. Also, if you're leveling up, just find a map that you really enjoy doing and do that over and over again. Alrighty, and the final tip that I have is support the Discord. So if you go up to the flame on the right, you've got all the events and stuff that always appear in the megaphone. But if you go up to the Discord, pop that up, it will bring you to the it'll open up the Discord channel. An event that happens every week to fortnight is Crow's Corner. You'll notice a code up here. This gets you 200 jagged primos. Just participate in the crow's corner, ask questions, just be present. Yeah, you find out a lot of useful info. You can go through the previous weeks and see all the questions that were asked. If you want to ask a question, you just hit on the most recent questionnaire, and it'll allow you to pose a question. The codes are only valid for 24 hours, so there's no point going back and trying the other codes as they won't work. There is other things here, like you won't see that. Oh, actually you will. Yeah. Oh, that's the one you won't see. But yeah, you've got content creator guides and stuff in here, creative videos, etc. And then the general chat where everyone just talks crap non-stop all day. I've muted it, otherwise you'd just be pinged non-stop. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoy the tips and tricks. If you have others, put them down in the comments below. I'll create a pinned comment with dot points of everyone's extra tips and tricks to help out new players. Alright, that's what I've got. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you later.